My trip was amazing. I met a lot of cool people that I grew connections with. Um, I think the experience overall was amazing. We saw some really cool buildings, churches. I really want to thank the donors for making this trip possible because without whatever you guys gave, we wouldn't have had this right now. This trip was awesome. 10 out of 10. Perfect.
I think the best part for me was all the different views that we got to see. I don't know, like, what I like better, either hiking up the mountain in Assisi or climbing the bell tower in Florence, and then also getting to see the Mediterranean Sea. It was all just so beautiful. Just thank you so much. There's so many things that we were able to do that we probably wouldn't have been able to do without your support.
I had a really good time on this trip. It was really fun for me being out of the country for the first time in my life, and I've been waiting for this a long time since I wasn't able to go last year like a few other students. But it was well worth the wait. I've got to experience a lot of things that I thought I would never see before, whether it's art or architecture, a lot of things that I never thought I'd be able to eat before, because the food and the culture surrounding the food here is totally different. And it was a really great experience, and I've met a lot of people here that I was really happy to meet, and I'm just really grateful for the experience overall. I think we have a group of really well-rounded and intelligent people, and we all come from different places and believe different things, so having to talk that out amongst each other was really fun because everybody brings their own side to the table, and we're able to talk and explore unanswerable questions using those perspectives. Of course, I really want to thank the donors and the Academy for making this happening and putting your trust in Father Bud and Dr. Ganaway to send us here with them and roam around the city, or this country really. We've been to a lot of different places, but it's really nice that there are people that invest so much of their time and effort into our experiences and are able to take care of us as students and as people and learners to hopefully be able to do the same for students in the future and give them a similar opportunity. So thank you guys.
So I think the most memorable part was going to Ostia when we were in Rome and seeing the ruins of the port city there. And I also really loved that day because we went to the beach and we saw the Mediterranean. And I had the best gelato, I think, out of all of the times I've had gelato on the trip. I want to say thank you a lot for making this trip possible in many ways, especially financially, because I did the internship for the Academy and helped out with the social media along with Claire. And it was a really great experience and made it possible for me to study abroad and get out of the country for the first time.
Honestly, like, I came to this trip because I needed the credit and I signed up like so last minute, but I'm just so thankful for the experience. My favorite part, I would say, like, seeing these historical figures that I've been reading about, because like you read it and you're like, oh, no way, like, no way, this is like impossible. And then you come here and you see how, how valued they are here and how people still look up to, these historical figures and for their courage and their bravery and for the path that they've built for, the Christianity here and the culture here too. We were able to experience what we had experienced here because of the donors, but in many ways they also inspired me to, just be good, do good, and then give back so that other students could also experience this trip and the adventure and the learning experience that we've had here the last few weeks.
I think I was afraid of this new adventure and going into it. But I decided to take that leap, partly on my own, but partly because of those who I had to support me, friends and family, who understood that it was something unknown, but knew that it was something that I ought to do, and I'm really glad I did it. Being on this trip, I was able to expose myself to multiple different communities, both present and from the past. And there is an exploration both educationally, as far as learning, what things were, what they were meant to do, but theologically as well, exploring not just the logistics of the educational aspect, but exploring the possible spiritual aspect as well for, I guess you could say, a young person.
I study the classicals, so Rome is one of the areas that I study in, and it's absolutely wonderful to be here. And thank you absolutely so much for being able to sponsor this trip and provide money. And as I'm an academy intern. I'm essentially the office staff / collections manager. So I am absolutely grateful for everything that you guys do. Thank you so much.
Yeah, before I got on this trip, I was never the kind of person to, I guess, want to go to a museum and just look at a piece of art. I was always, I don't know, I kind of frowned upon that kind of thing. So when I first saw it, I think it was in the Vatican Museum. There's a couple of art pieces. I think the School of Athens was definitely one of those for me. Just being able to see all the intricate detail and the story behind it, things like that, it really kind of opened my mind. So by the time we got to Florence, and we were actually really looking deep into some art, and it was really eye-opening. I totally recommend the trip. I think that I'm an older person on this trip. I'm almost 30, and I think I still learned a lot. I've traveled quite a bit, but nothing really seemed to kind of mount to this kind of atmosphere that you feel here in Italy. And there's a lot, I think, that can be gained from more people taking this trip.
The trip was really cool. You know, as someone who was supposed to go last year but was unfortunately unable to, it was really nice that I was given the opportunity to come back. See all the ancient things, the really old things, really great works by geniuses of the arts and whatnot. Thank you to the donors. I mean, they've helped out so much financially and really helped ease the burden of so many of us students.
Thank you so much for providing this trip for us. It's been truly amazing being able to see all these great churches and just places in history that we don't have back home. It's been a dream come true for myself. I've grown spiritually, mentally, physically, throughout this whole journey. So thank you.